Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I've called myself many times a preacher, not as you know a preacher to be, not one of those that's been indoctrinated according to a particular doctrine uh, or denomination. And I'm not out spreading the gospel according to the Bible. What I am doing is allowing the Spirit of the living God that many says had an effect on the lives of people in the book. I'm allowing that same Spirit to have an effect on my life. And perhaps as the information has been written about those who had a connection with God that the book references, I have chosen to have that direct relationship with God. Doesn't mean I can hear everything perfectly clear. It means that I have my faith in God and not what others say about God. And it's to that degree I challenge each of you to have your own personal relationship with God. Know the God that you are dealing with according to your relationship and how that God responds to you. Now, I just said that to say that when I'm out talking about God, I'm not trying to knock down those of you who believe in the Bible. All I'm doing is doing what my mission is. You know, you guys say some people call it preach, some people call it prophesy, and you know how the story goes. Cool with me. All I am here to do is to do what I have been given to do. I was called to tell you how to please God, just how to please God in living. That's all. How to please God. So that's why I spent the past 40 years mentioning to you just how God works, what God is about, as opposed to just hearing about stories, biblical stories about what happened here and what happened then, and what this might mean in relationship to this, in relationship to that. I'm not saying that has no value. Sure, it does. But I'm saying that's that. I'm not knocking that. I'm coming to tell you what's pleasing to God, what God wants you guys to do, and the evidence of it. Now, I have been talking to you about this for a long time. As I am, so goes everyone else. You've heard that subject before. As I am, so goes everyone else. I'm talking about shaping America into a diamond. You've heard me speak on that subject matter, shaping America into a diamond. I've talked about we the people of America becoming the dream. My. Mm. That last message, I believe, was called The Golden Future. The Golden Future. Now, each of these paths, accomplishments that I'm referring to, but they are undoubtedly ambitions, and they require that each one of these ambitions, that could be you or you or you, they got to respect one another in order for them to exist. If one person suffers, one person, that means basically that any person can suffer. And being connected on that path to truth, it would reveal itself. Let me read this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Each of these ambitions require that each one see themselves in others. If you want to talk about uh, turning America into a diamond. That means the people of America, when they look at one individual or any individual, they got to see themselves in that individual or those individuals. Same if you're talking about taking it to a different level. You don't now just want to be a diamond, but you want the dream. You know how people talk about the dream? You even talk about a dream that Dr. King talked about. I'm sure when you talk about a dream yourselves, you can be more specific and it'll mean a lot more. But you're talking about becoming that and the golden future. The golden future. The golden. I mean, that's almost like have arrived. Now, each of them requires that when you see somebody walking down the street, a black person, a white person, a gay person, Asian, or anybody, when you just see a person, it's as if you see yourself. Respectful, caring. That doesn't mean you got to step out of your way, but that's you. Who you are is you. And you're concerned about that person. If that person is happy, it feels like you feel that happiness. If that person is sad, you feel that sadness. But this is not just somebody that you're observing who is sad. This is you. You got to fix this. You can fix this. At least you know you must try. So how do you begin? By being concerned. What's the problem? What's got you here? How can you get out of here? These are the kind of things that cross in your mind. Why? Because this is your pain. You got to get rid of this pain. You dig? When you see yourselves in others, this is how you deal. Now, these things are fixable. They are fixable by others, or they're just fixable by one another. So, if it can be fixed and it exists, then that means that the pain and suffering that we experience every day is permissible. Permissible. The pain and suffering we experience every day is permissible. And when we look at what's happening in America, when we look at what's happening in the world outside of America, what do we see? Anything that's fixing it? Of course not. They don't even talk about fixing it. They talking about power, talking about who got the ability to control and manipulate someone else, to force them to do something that you or they themselves don't want to do. So they force other people to do it. That's how you prove your power. So what do we have? We have God's way and man's. Let me tell you again, ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to tell you this for 40 years. You got God's way and you got man's way. Your choice. Now, it's simple. Man's way is everything that happens in America that, for Americans, everything that happens in America, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pain, the suffering, the crime, all of the guns, the killings, the racism, the bigotry, the hatred, the trying to take over power, the lying, the cheating, all of that is America. It is the result of the American system operating according to people who have been in power in America. This is what is happening. Everybody that's going along with it and following suit. This is who we are. Outside of America, everything that's going on in the world out there, the same thing that's happening here in America is happening outside there. They got wars, people killing each other by masses, all of the stuff that's going on. These represent man. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Man, you know, you got some men don't even believe in God. They call themselves atheists, I think. So I don't know if they're running anything or not, but it doesn't matter. The people who call themselves running anything, it doesn't matter. If they believe in God, it doesn't matter because they're believing in a fake God. a God that allows hell to exist. And even when you go to the churches, I have to put this back into them too. They can't even tell you a story to get you out of this hell. They'll promise you something. If you don't rock the boat, that you might have something after you get through out of this life. But then, as we noticed a year ago or 2 years ago, there were some of the churches who were talking about God, this wonderful, magnificent God who was a murderer, who some people say had done more dirt and ugly stuff to people than anybody else, or it has been done in God's name, was being called down to come and aid someone who has been proven to be a liar, to be a deceitful one, to be a heartless one. And they were calling down not to straighten his heart out, but to help him be in power, to do what was he trying to do, to overturn the government and to take over the government. Now, if he was representing the devil, I'm not saying he was, but if he was representing the devil, and the church people, the big mega churches that were all over there calling down the angels from everywhere in the world that they can call them down to come here to help us, then who are they and what were they doing? If he was representing evil and what they were doing had to be empowering evil, and they were trying to call down the heavenly host, if they had any power, to come down and empower this evil. And you, the people, out here, packing their churches, giving them all kinds of money, tithes and offering, buying favor with God, and all this hell is going around. And you can't see it. You can't see the game that's being played. Well, that's because you can't. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm excited because I can see the game. I'm not laughing at you. I see the game. And it's so simple to put this game behind us and go forward. And this is why I'm excited. I truly am excited. Because it's a very, very simple matter when you just put things in place like it's supposed to be. Not man sitting on a throne trying to run something. Man didn't make dirt. Man didn't make... Put that sucker on the sideline. Put God. You say, I can't see God. That's right. You're supposed to see God. But you see the effects of God. Like the computer, you don't see God, but you see the effects of God by the computer. You also see the exploitation of God by the rich wealth that has been amassed from the computer and the absence of those who don't even have access to the computer. See what I'm saying? That's man. God said to the computer, man said, let's exploit it. I don't know what Musk is all about, Elon Musk, whatever he's about, but God sent apparently something here with that guy. And the first thing, let's exploit it. Exploit it. People are crazy all over the world absent with God. And God says everything, my friends, everything is to be enjoyed. Everything is to be enjoyed by everyone that wants to enjoy it. Everyone, everything that exists by the power of God. Even when you make that beautiful, fantastic, fast car, shape that diamond ring, or make that cuisine look so fantastic, or make anything that you do, it's from God, and it's there to be made. I know you say, well, I can't do that, but no, according to the system that man has developed, it's not about that. Man's system is about this, ladies and gentlemen. It's about power. It's about manipulation and power. You heard people say that in America, where white people have been running things, you've heard people say that white people would rather tear America up and set it aflame before they allow themselves to get out of power and somebody else run it. They're not there ready to tear it up, give it to Putin, give it to North Korea, China, anybody. You see? Rather than, and if your heaven is wrapped up in you embracing one another, you first of all, what would allow you to do that? You got to put things in perspective. There's a power bigger than you that you can't see that's requiring that you do these things. And you're being rewarded every step you make. just like you'd be punished for every step you resist. Now, I think I'm going to stop there. I think I've said enough. If I haven't, 15 minutes. That's about all I'm going to give you right now. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.